Hello and good evening. Welcome. Welcome to another photography stream, another photo editing stream. Hopefully, you had a good weekend. Thank you for spending some of your Monday evening with me. Again, a little unusual. It's not a Friday stream, but the later half of this week is pretty stacked. So that's why we're going to be streaming today and tomorrow. Our my good friend McKenna, who is the subject of all of these images that I edited last week and now tonight, she'll be joining us in about 20-25 minutes or so. I don't know whether she's going to be in the chat or whether she's going to be on audio with me, but she will be here in some form. So that is the plan. So yeah, again, welcome on in. Thank you for spending some of your Monday evening with me. If you aren't familiar with any of my photography, I go by Brian J. French professionally, and if you are very curious about what I do, I've just posted the link to my card page in the chat. That is a link aggregate site, so that has links to my Instagram, my website, Vero, Patreon, Redbubble, all of that fun stuff. All my shameless self-promotion in one link right over there. So thank you for spending some of your time with me once again. So let's pick up where I left off. I edited 8 images last Thursday, and we're gonna pick up with some more. So yeah, let's crank up some music, and I will do the thing. What album is looking pretty good tonight? Yeah. How about a little Chrono Cross? That looks pretty good. Let's do that. Lower you just a bit. A little more, actually. There we go. Cool. So last week I had shown this image, but I didn't start editing it because there was a lot of stuff here in the background. We'd actually gone off the frame, and so the background basically cut off here, and so we got to see what was behind the backdrop, which was my board game cabinet. So what I started doing just a few minutes before started streaming was I've taken the clone tool and I've filtered that out. That is all gone, and we notice I'm looking a little rough over here, so we will fix that up. We'll fix that in post. I will continue just working on this image for the time being. This was toward the end of the shoot, particular image. Bunch of messages on this. we're going to soften some of that up. I am clearly still recovering from my weekend of concerts. Spent the weekend catching Dave Matthews Band, my annual weekend of Dave. Took today off work as a recovery day. Turned out to be a very wise decision. Took all the black out of the image, that's what we get. Do anything else there? I wonder, though, just for my own silliness, I kind of like that too. Save one as that. All right, I had. Which ones did I use in the promo? Yes, okay. I always like to edit the ones that I used in the promo that I shared on social media earlier today. A little bit of a Monday mood. I surely don't want to go back to work tomorrow. Saying. Actually think slightly off. Not by much, but noticeable to me. Where are my guides? Let's get a... just noticed. Where are my coolers? I don't want my guide, I want my coolers. Did they freaking go and hide them on me again? Used to be right here. Thank you. Good. Now, back to the original. Yep, okay. There we go. There we go. Get you off the board. Brighten up the area a bit here. We have shadow there, that has to stay there. Yeah, that's getting better. And now let us not blur. Let's do a burn. I think that's a bit much. Nope, now it looks like I gave her a bruise. Just something a little. So it's not screamingly bright. That's better. I hear a McKenna.
Yes, hello.
Hello, you've made it.
I have. I
Well,
am just getting signed into Twitch now so that I can actually see what's going on.
excellent. Give me a chance to adjust your mic here. Very good. I'm only on the second image of the night. So far, it's been quiet. I've just been entertaining myself.
Okay. Cool. All right, well, now I'm in. I am going to promptly link this to my friend Danny, because she said she'd hang out.
Go right ahead. I don't mind a party.
Mhm.
Lady Gates 15. Hello. Good evening.
Yes,
Welcome.
that is... Okay. I just logged in. I logged in and then I opened your stream in a new tab, and then it tells me I need to log in. And
Oh.
it's like, Twitch, what are you doing? Alright, 1 second, I gotta grab my phone to get the silly security code. 1 second.
Oh, yes. All right. You keep doing that. Good evening, Lady Gates. But yes, just editing some more images from my most recent shoot with McKenna, so.
Alright, now am I logged in and can I participate in chat?
Give it a shot.
Wonderful. Yay. And now it's gonna advertise Coca-Cola and League of Legends to me. And Futurama, because it can't just take me to your art.
Oh, yes. That's because I still have it set so that it does pre-roll ads when you log into my stream for the first time. And that is because I don't want to have to stop my stream every so often when Twitch tells me to run an ad break.
That's fair. That's very fair.
I'm just like, you know
I
what?
I just find it hilarious that it, like, the first time I opened your stream, it took me right to it when I was not logged in, but as soon as I logged in, then it decided to show me the ads.
Yes, we have to pander to you. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for the compliment. I was very happy with how this shoot turned out, especially the first one in the new house, so.
Yeah, he has, like, an awesome new house that's, like, was built in, like, the 1800s and is on the National Register of Historic Places, and it's just very pretty.
Although I did not know it was on the National Register until the day after we closed.
So, pleasant surprise.
Because apparently the sellers the sellers have attempted to get rid of this house for a while now, and they initially, that was part of the sales pitch, that this house was on the National Register, but that actually deterred a lot of people from buying because of the common misconception that if a house is on the National Register, that means you can't do anything to it, and that is not true. If the house does not receive any government money of any kind, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. Bureaucracy only comes into play if you want tax credits for it, which you would get if you wanted to do major renovation to the house, and a significant chunk of that renovation involved the exterior. You would need then regulatory approval if you wanted like historic home tax credits. But yeah, built in 1850-ish. And in some parts definitely acts like it. But so far, so good. Alright, so we've got... So the image I was working on before you showed up was this one. You just decked out on the on the little couch there.
It's my favorite one, to be quite honest. I think it has the most personality out of any of the poses that I've ever done. Maybe not the most personality, but it's up there.
Just, like, and we're just gonna pass out here. I need to level that image, so let's do that. Actually, I just noticed how off center that is. So let's fix that.
Oh yeah, it is a little bit tilted.
Should be better now.
Mm-hmm.
Bring you down. Yeah, that's better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so many shenanigans. So Brian, I need to share with you a story about this character.
Go ahead.
So she is, in universe, something of a thief. She tries not to be. She doesn't need to steal to survive anymore, but she's just really good at getting her hands on things that don't belong to her, either on purpose or accidentally. So, and this is something of a in-joke amongst myself and members of the staff now, where it's like, oh, where's this prop? Where did this prop go? If they don't know, they're like, well, did you ask McKenna? Anyways, so one of the other players, Kara, her name tag, she lost her name tag on Saturday. Friday night, she lost her name tag. And when I got home after the weekend was over, I found her name tag in my luggage, rolled up in a pair of sweatpants that I hadn't even worn at the site. And I have no clue how it got there. And I was like, I'm stealing things even when I'm not trying to steal things. What is this? So now I have told the staff if they don't want anything to end up where it shouldn't be, they need to just nail it to the ground or put it on a string or something. Because clearly this is a power I have no control over.
Apparently you've just become an unwilling klepto.
Yes. Mm-hmm. This is very true.
So this is the second shoot that we have done with this character.
Mm-hmm.
This is still Vampire the Masquerade, yes?
No, this is not Vampire the Masquerade. This is the original steampunk setting that the game runners came up with.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's up to the contrast in a
Yes, it did. A bit.
way I wasn't expecting. My face looks a lot brighter than it did in the color version.
Yeah, that's a bit too much contrast for my liking. That's a bit better. Yeah.
There we go.
That's a bit more like it. Sometimes the high contrast filters work really well, sometimes they don't. It depends on how much color is in the original image to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what those colors are.
Yes.
One of my favorite fun facts about cinematography and filming and whatnot is that the entire original set of the Addams Family was entirely pastel, because those were the colors that translated best to the black and white film reels of the day.
Yes, that happened. That particular situation was not unique to the Addams Family films. A lot of shows in the 60s did that. Like the original Doctor Who, same thing. Because they shot on black and white film, and so they needed color values and contrast that would show up best on black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So you walk onto one of these sets and it's pastels everywhere. But then when you watched an episode, it's like, oh, things look really good. Like, so are there future games planned with this character?
Yes. So there is game number 3 is happening in next June, which I have already gotten approval from my new job to be able to take that time off, even though it's a couple weeks before I would technically be eligible for vacation time. And it's going to be like the conclusion of Act 1. So they have the plan is to do several like different acts broken up into 3 games each. So, the last one of this particular storyline will be next year, and I 100% plan on returning with Dolly. I've been making plans with some of the other players and characters and whatnot, and talking with the staff about things I'd like to do or get into. But the premise of next game is that it's going to be a masquerade ball. So I am looking forward to doing a slightly fancier look for her for a portion of that.
Nice.
Going with a slightly different silhouette. Probably going to do something in like probably the early bustle period, but not like or natural form. Because like I want something that's slimmer than her usual get-up, but I also am not a fan of like the full bustles. Yeah, Danny, I'm actually, I don't know if what you're saying, I didn't know that was in that. I can talk. I don't know to what you did not know, but if it's the masquerade ball thing, then yes, it is going to be a masquerade ball, and I'm super excited.
And then, of course, you have your own LARP coming up.
Yeah.
I am very much looking forward to that.
Yes. Shane and I have started doing, like, more scheduling and stuff, for that. And we want to get most of... Because, like, obviously, like, there's going to be stuff that happens on game day that you can't prepare for, but we want to have most of our plans and potential plans and contingencies finished by, like, the end of next month. We'll see what happens with that. Because a lot of that is also going to depend on what players start talking about at that point, because we do kind of want to lean into player expectations and plans a bit. So if we see if they're looking forward to something specific or themes or whatnot that they're looking to explore, we do want to try to work those in if we can. Because we have a small enough group that will be able to do that. And also, since it's a mystery, it's kind of like, okay, so here's what's going on. What information do we make available when and to whom so that pacing works? Like, we don't want to reveal too much right away, but we also don't want there to be periods that are, like, stagnant.
Yep.
And trying to balance that amongst, what groups get this information revealed to them, and how can we take advantage of player character relationships. It's like, well, if we let this character know this right away, that might be too much. But if we let this character that we know they associate with get that information, then that might facilitate a conversation between them that sort of expands the situation rather than just like giving people an answer. But I had Shane sit down and watch The Maltese Falcon with me last night. Because I figure, we should probably immerse ourselves in some noir since we're writing noir. And it's been a while since either of us have sat down and watched any. So, neither of us had seen it before. So that was a fun experience. Very good film. Highly recommend.
I mean, it is definitely a classic. I've never seen it, but...
There are actually 3 different versions. There is the 1931 adaptation, which, because it was pre-code, has a lot more raciness to it, and the queer-coded characters are obviously more queer, according to what I've read. There was a loose adaptation called Satan Meets a Lady, starring Betty Davis, and I think that one was in 34 or 36, one of the two. Or was it? I don't know. One of those. And then there was the most well-known version starring Bogart, which was 1941. And it took a minute to grow on me, because Sam Spade is not a very likable protagonist, but he becomes more entertaining as the film goes on. So, and there are some glorious one-liners in it, just absolutely glorious.
Nice.
I had seen, the only other Bogart film I had seen was The Big Sleep, which I watched in college. And I don't remember much of it, but I recently watched the official trailer for it, and the marketing for that film was basically, so Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall had starred across from each other in prior films, and they had really good chemistry. And I believe they also did have an affair, and Bogart was married at the time of the affair. But
oops.
The marketing for The Big Sleep was all about how these two stars were gonna, they were together on screen again, and this wonderful, romantic chemistry between them. And it was marketing their spark more than it was the story of the film. It's a neat little microcosm of that particular era's approach to promotion and the relationship that the movie stars had with that marketing. Nice. Where's he originally from, Danny? Because I recognize his name, but I don't know. I don't know if I've ever specifically interacted with him. Also, I find it The Walking Scandal is one of our character roles in the LARP, and is currently being played by a masculine. I honestly do not remember what Crowley's pronouns are, but the character, I believe, is a mask character. And I find this hilarious because the that write-up is based very heavily on Tallulah Bankhead, who was she was the daughter of a California senator, and I believe she was a stage actress. And her entire personality can be summed up in one quote. And I'm going to be paraphrasing a bit here, but that quote is, "Daddy always told me to stay away from men and booze, but he said nothing about cocaine and women." It's just very... just... eccentric, over-the-top party girl that did not give two shits what anyone thought about her. It's like, nope, this person needs to be an inspiration here.
I'm going to have a lot of fun photographing this. This is going to be great.
Mm-hmm. Hi, kitten. You're gonna come hang out with Brian and me. Maybe. Or are you just going to sit there and meow? Ow.
Here we have you drinking a mug of whatever, reading your hot and steamy romance.
You kind of lose the title of the book with the black and white, though. Maybe it's just because it's so zoomed out.
Well,
but there's not a whole lot of there's not as much contrast on the cover with the bright red and the white.
Well, we can change that by me adjusting my red slider.
There you go. Yeah. That's a fun book. I was doing a dramatic reading of one of the short stories in it, with some of the other players in the game. It was not good, which means it was wonderful. And I plan on bringing it to the next game, because there's always, on Friday night or Saturday night, they'll have a bonfire, and I wholeheartedly intend to have silly steampunk romance story time around the campfire.
There we go. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
See, because the cover of the book is a pretty close match to the color of your hair, if I adjust the red slider too much, you just have a black shape on top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we get rid of all of the red, not only do we lose the hair, we also lose your face. You start to look like a zombie. So,
which, I mean, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but not for this particular
Not
character.
for this one, no.
Not for this one.
No. You aren't in full makeup, fangs, or anything like that for this particular go-around.
Someday. Someday soon.
All right.
I'll have to do a shoot with whatever I decide to wear for my NPC for Gilded Cages.
Look, you're my only regular paying client, so I will happily take your money whenever you feel it necessary to give it to me. I have no shame.
If you'll excuse me for one moment, I'm gonna go get something to drink.
Yes, you do that. And anyone out there watching, make sure you hydrate. I don't know where any of you geographically are, but it is disgustingly humid out by me, and we're also getting attacked by some of the Canadian wildfire smoke. So hopefully you're all keeping it easy, taking it easy out there. But for those of you who did not catch the intro, again, my name is Brian J. French, and if you are curious about some of the other photography that I do, I'm going to post the link into the chat. That is my card page, and that's like the link, all my links, Instagram, my website, Patreon, Vero, Redbubble, all of my self-promotion contained in one link. So if you like what you see, give me a follow. I do a wide range of photography. Cosplay, costume, studio, nude, film.
Right. I return with a strawberry watermelon seltzer.
All right. All right, so now we'll move on to the next one. This is one of the first ones of the shoot. This is the one you in full outfit.
Mm-hmm. I need to get a new petticoat. This one kind of deflated a lot over the course of the year. But one of the benefits of working at the costumer is that as long as something isn't being used for a show, I have access to the costume.
Nice! You get to play with all the equipment. Very nice. And it sounded like your mic cut out.
Hello?
Yep, your mic did cut out.
Okay, as I was saying, I will never have to make my own hoop skirt or petticoat. I can just steal them from work.
That saves you some work.
Yes, it does. And, like, they also have a pretty good selection of, like, Victorian and Edwardian looking things, so, like, if I didn't want to make something for a game, I could pick some stuff and... As long as it was not reserved for a show.
And for anyone else out there who's watching this, if you are also a fellow creative and you want to share what you do, drop your links in the chat. I have no problem promoting other artists. McKenna, you as well. I don't know if your website is.
My website is not currently active, just because I didn't, like, with the move and everything, I didn't really have the time or inclination to upkeep it, so I will probably get an actual website again at some point, but I do not have one currently.
All right.
I just have my Facebook and my Instagram. Also, yes, we did get poured on yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm. It managed to hold off long enough for my Shane's cousin's graduation party to have some outdoor fun, though, which was nice. We actually got to use the pool.
We got poured on yesterday, but it was after. So yesterday was Sunday. Yes, I'm just readjusting my sense of time because I was at Dave Matthews Friday and Saturday. And the rain held off for that. It was just disgustingly humid. So by the time, we're done with a 3-hour show at SPAC, you're just drenched from your own sweat. No, yesterday we did get poured on. Okay, so have you in the full outfit here with the fan.
Mm-hmm. Everyone got those fans. They were gifts in character from one of the more flamboyant player characters at the game. Her name is Zaza St. James, and she works for Lucille Ltd, which is the in-universe. It's like GE, basically. They're like the big company that does research and development for all of the technology in the game, and she is their marketing person. She knows nothing about how any of their stuff works. She just knows how to make people buy it. And she's just this very over-the-top dramatic, just lovely, lovely person. With so many good quotes. She got fans for everyone, and then she had to give us a lesson in fan language, like how you hold your fan and how you flap your fan, and what that communicates about you, or how you can use it to communicate with other people. And it was lovely. But I think my favorite thing that has come out of her mouth was she was talking about oh god, what, I can't even remember what the specific context was, but the phrase last season's orphans was used in regards to orphans not being able to keep up with the latest fashions, and how she needs to design uniforms for all of the poor children in the workhouses so that they can at least have something nice to wear. And it went into us trying to convince her to not put all the children in pinstripes.
I chug my lemon water here. Stay hydrated, people.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgustingly summer out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not bred for this. Give me an icebox.
Excuse me. So.
No? Good. Like, I love all of the extra bits and baubles that you attached with this outfit. Like, you've got keys, you've got lockpicks.
My little medal is flipped backwards in this one. That makes me so sad. The little ribbon on my chatelaine has, the other side is purple with a little metal key attached to it. And yeah. It is, I think, definitely my most, maybe not my most accessorized outfit, but like, there's more utilitarian thought put into everything on this. Like, there are some outfits that you accessorize just because it looks good, but everything that this character has on their person has meaning to it in some capacity, which has been fun to incorporate. So on the last version of this outfit she had, her chatelaine had a little pocket watch shaped container that had some pink beads and some freshwater pearl beads in it, that was a memento from a person from her childhood who had died. And at the end of the last game, she gave that to another, one of the other characters. So I could not have that on this one. And is also why I only have 3 objects on my chatelaine, despite having 4 chains. So it's like I didn't know what to replace it with. But she's got her little cork bottle of salt and basil and iron filings, to keep the bad spirits and ghosts away. She's got her bottle opener corkscrew shaped, or her key shaped bottle opener and corkscrew. The medal was a gift from one of the other characters last game. And of course, you can't be a thief without lockpicks.
Absolutely not. Let's see. How do you look in sepia? Eh. Take it or leave it. Right. Let's see. What do I have next on my queue?
Also, the reason I haven't gotten you any of my favorites is because I'm like, these are all good, and I trust him to pick the good one, the best ones. I feel like I have nothing of value to add to the decision making and what gets edited.
All right. Well, I am glad you think so. So next, we're gonna do something a little dramatic. I'm gonna jump ahead in the line here. Let's go to you. You with your scrunched up mayor poster.
Yeah, so fun fact for everyone listening in here. So my character is a bartender. And we actually, at the last game, we had a bar. We had my tavern there. It was an in-game location with an actual bar that we used. And her bar was haunted. And
oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it was so. There were three huge things that went on with my character that weekend, and one of them was her bar was haunted. And so, on top of all the other stress she was dealing with, there's this ghost of the previous mayor of the city, who was a corrupt a-hole, and he was haunting her bar, and she was so done. She was ready to punch that ghost if ghosts could have been punched. And there was many a frustrated, angry shout of "Get the F out of my bar!" And the best part was that the bar itself was not necessarily haunted. It was actually one of the player characters was possessed by the ghost of the previous mayor and happened to be causing all of the trouble in the bar because why not? That's where everyone is. That's where you can mess with everyone easily. So one of the things that was happening over the course of the weekend was the ghost was moving bottles around and moving objects and putting them where they weren't supposed to go. And there was a prop bottle of absinthe that got moved from the bar to the coffee table in the middle of the room. And I put it back on the bar and I said, "God damn it, Shifter, stop moving my liquor bottles." Shifter was the name of the previous mayor. And the character who was possessed, after I walked away, went over and moved the absinthe from the corner of the bar into the center of the bar. Well, just in front of God and everybody, because we didn't know that that the character was possessed yet, and I was just like that. In hindsight, I'm like, man, that's such a good move. She did such a good job.
But yes, this was it's drama time. Let's break out the combs. Break out the light combs.
Yep, dramatic lighting. Gotta love it.
Okay. Saturation, selected color.
Yeah, my hair kind of did just turn into a black blob right there.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with a. That's a bit too much. When I have. This is why I want to eventually buy a third light.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back to you. Let's turn down the exposure on the dodge here. That's better.
You can see some of the variation in the highlights coming out now.
Yeah. And that's fine, just a little bit, just to indicate that there is something there instead of just a black shape of nothingness. This part, obviously, behind your head is going to stay in shadow.
Mm-hmm. But it would be nice to have my bangs not be void.
Yes. We need to bring them back from the void.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, every time I do any manner of dodging and burning in Photoshop, I just thank modern technology, because doing this on black and white film in the darkroom is a bitch. Because there is no Control Z in the darkroom. There is no undo function. You fuck up and you have to start the print over. Rip up that sheet of paper, start a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love traditional darkroom. But man, there is a reason why my own particular workflow and process with photography is get as much right in the camera first. It will save you a massive headache later. Like, make sure all of your exposure settings are as best as you can in the camera. It's not, for me, shoot first, ask questions later has never been like, no.
The effort is appreciated on my end, at least.
Yes. Like, minor adjustments.
Probably not in the same way you appreciate it, but
minor adjustments are fine. That's gonna happen regardless, because a camera lens cannot replicate the rods and cones in human eyes. I get that. The camera does not have a human brain attached to it to automatically adjust contrast so that you can see. I get it. But at the same time, the closer you can get to that finished image the first time, the less I spend here. Like, post-production has always been the least favorite part of my workflow. It's like, what do you mean I have to edit? And minor edits are fine, because that's going to happen regardless. Right. Brightness, contrast. So if we take all the contrast out of the image, yeah, that looks kind of flat. If we go all the way to the other end, we once again we start getting a solarized image. So, just a little bit. I don't need to mess with the brightness. I want that dramatic lighting. Now for the black and white, now for something like this, I don't actually mind at all the super contrast. Because I just think that with the light already dramatic, this just makes it more so. Like, when I do something like this, it makes me think of like old studio still. Like, we have dramatic lighting here. Let's just play it out.
Yeah. And actually, if you do end up doing portraits at Gilded Cages, I think that the lighting setup that we used for these shots would work really well for people doing portraits at the game. Sort of emulate that chiaroscuro motif that is so prevalent in black and white and especially noir films.
Ooh, you just pulled out an art history word.
What, chiaroscuro?
Yes.
Yeah, film history word too.
Yes.
That was
Suddenly my mind just goes to all of the Caravaggio paintings I was subjected to in my art history classes. And
I mean, I associate it with Citizen Kane.
Yes.
That was like one of the first major pictures to really utilize chiaroscuro extensively and for narrative benefit. So it was the context in which I first learned the term.
And I bet your ass that Orson Welles looked at a lot of those Renaissance painters who employed that technique.
Yep.
But yes, you just made the art history minor in me very happy. Chiaroscuro and tenebrism, my favorite. All right, so we've got that. What else have I selected? What did I go back? Number 53. We'll keep with the dramatic theme and go with another one of these angled ones here. Something I like whenever you get into one of these particular poses, and if I'm basically lying on the ground pointing the camera up, is you can see the tension in the face.
Yep. So the story behind this particular pose and prop setup. So in game, there is an organization called the Silent Partners, which is they're like the in-game Illuminati / mafia hybrid. Anything that happens in the city, they know about eventually, and they will manipulate, blackmail, murder, kidnap, basically do whatever they need to stay in power. And last game, my character got on their bad side by inadvertently stealing something that they were trying to get their hands on. So she found herself on the unlucky end of an assassination contract. and amongst many other people at the game. That was the other big thing for that weekend, was there was an assassin that we were trying to track down. And so it was eventually determined that Dolly was going to be used as bait to lure the assassin out so everyone else could jump them. And I had, at that point in the game, because everyone was like, oh my god, we can't actually let her do this. But then no one was actually gonna stop me. They're like, yeah, but she kind of made up her mind, so they gave me 3 different knives/daggers, a mini Nerf pistol, and I think something else. Anyway, I had 5 weapons shoved inside my dress and corset for like half an hour. And I was like, gang, like, I have no pockets, but it doesn't really matter. I can hide a lot of stuff in here.
If you have the ample space, use it.
Yeah, no, I had one dagger in each side of my corset, one tucked up under the hip in my corset, and then the gun, because I was wearing my gray overdress, was just sitting between the overdress and my belt. And spare ammo in my sleeve. Which was hilarious because I didn't end up actually using any of them. I had planned on getting into a tussle with the assassin, but then I tripped on the pavement and lost my shoe.
Womp womp.
Yeah. So, like, I was stumbling around, like, on one foot because we were in the grass and there were, like, little tiny rocks and pine needles everywhere, and it's like, I need my shoe!
It's like you were talking about the Silent Partners, and I'm getting like Skyrim Dark Brotherhood vibes.
Yeah. It's similar. The Silent Partners were actually, so the person who runs them was the male person, I guess. I'm not actually sure if that character was supposed to be male or female. But the city of Oxentia has a extensive network of pneumatic tubes, which are used to send mail. You put it in a little canister and you send it through the tube system. And the person in charge of delivering the tubes once they arrived was the leader of the Silent Partners. And that's how they knew what everyone had going on, was they were reading the mail.
What's a little mail fraud between friends?
I mean, it's not mail fraud,
Yeah, that's true.
per se. Is it highly illegal? Yes, but not necessarily fraud. But there was at one point, the other big thing, because there were so the 3 big plots of the weekend were the haunting, the assassin, and then the launching of an airship that was being targeted by domestic terrorists. And we thought that someone was going to try to smuggle a bomb onto the airship. So I went to the pneumatic tube attendant and I asked, do people ever send packages? And they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, well, if someone tries to send a package somewhere, would you let me know? And we were talking about the security of the pneumatic tube system and the mail system, and meanwhile the staff member who's playing this NPC is like, holy crap, did she figure it out? did she figure out that the tubes were compromised already? I hadn't. And then when I looked back at that conversation after the truth had been revealed, I was like, oh man, I probably gave poor Grace a heart attack while she was playing my character.
As you were approaching the truth, and they're like, no.
Yeah, because I made a comment on the security of the pneumatic tube system, and it was just.
Right, let's see. So we've got that. And...
is there a way to because the lockpick I'm kind of holding up, is there a way we can like brighten just the lockpick, maybe make it look like it's glinting a little bit, because right now it just kind of gets lost in...
Let's see. All right, let's see what we can do.
Because like when you zoom in it's there, but if you zoom out then it just kind of looks like a little line.
So what specifically would you...
So, like, see that highlight that's, like, kind of gray on the bottom there leading up to the point?
Yep.
Maybe just make that a little brighter so that it stands out more against the black of the background.
All right, let's see what we can do here. I think we can do that. Let's, no, I don't want... Ooh, not 30 pixels. God, no.
All the pixels!
All right. So, let's do that. Let's do a layer via copy. And then let's do a curves adjustment on just you. So, something a bit more... like this is just a rough, so...
Keeping in mind that I'm seeing this on a slight, like a couple second delay from when you are.
Yes.
Yes, it is looking better.
All right, so
it does stand out more.
So now let's take a look at it in the full scope of
Yeah.
So let's see what it looked like originally. Yeah, okay. So it was just a basically a darker line against your hand. Now we've done that, and
yeah, it looks like there's actually an object there, as opposed to just void.
Okay, cool. Because on the black, in the regular color image, obviously it shows up just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I mean. In the in just the black and white image, I mean, you can see that you are actually holding something in there. It's just against the black and white, it gets a little lost.
Mm-hmm.
So we will keep that as is, and here we are.
Yes.
What was the next one I was going to play with? The next one will be you raising a glass.
Yay! A toast.
A toast to toast. But before I do that, I'm going to take a quick pee break. So I will be back in a second if you feel like keeping the audience company.
I don't know why they would want me to do that. I'm such an unlikable, boring person.
Either way, I'll be back in a minute.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, for those of you who are tuning in tonight, I hope you're all enjoying the photos and the banter and such. I like being able to chime in and give context for some of this stuff. And it's nice to be able to, like, get good quality pictures of stuff that I make. It is always fun to see my creations, like, from, like, a point of view that I don't normally get to see them, because I'm wearing them.
Alrighty. And we're back. A toast to toast. I love toast.
Toast is great.
I mean,
I made avocado toast. Yeah, I made avocado toast with salsa this morning, and it was amazing.
Avocado is one of those things that I really have to be in the mood for. I failed the millennial stereotype with that.
I mean, I eat avocado toast, and also I have a house, so I'm only 50% the stereotype.
Okay, fine.
But avocados were on sale this week, so that is what I did with them this morning.
And avocado is one of those things that's only ripe for like 1 minute before they go bad.
They actually, in my experience, is if you get them perfectly ripe on your counter and then put them in the fridge, they will stay in that deliciously ripe phase for a good while longer than if they are just on your counter.
So 5 minutes instead of 1 is what you're...
Yeah, it definitely is a timing game. But when you get a good one and you can make yourself some good avocado toast, it is well worth it.
Danny's like, just give me guac. Yes.
Yeah. I never have the stuff to make guacamole. Just regular avocado paste for avocado toast. Or put it on a sandwich. Eat good. Like a turkey avocado bacon sandwich is primo.
So I discovered, well, not really discovered. I mean, I knew about it. I just haven't been there. There's a seafood restaurant right on the Hudson River, right at the bottom of the hill here from where I live.
Ooh.
Called Yanni's 2, and I had it. I went there with a couple of friends the other day, and I had their fish and chips, and I'm a bit of a seafood snob. I've lived on Cape Cod. I've been going to Cape Cod for most of my life, so it's like I have an expectation for fried seafood.
This is fair.
But I had it, and I'm like, all right, that's not too bad. That's not bad. I would still, Cape Cod still wins hands down, but that's not bad in a pinch.
Fair. At some point, next time you're out this way, we're going to have to get takeout from Anchor's Fish Fry, because I think they are very good.
Nice.
I do not know how they compare to what you grew up with, but they are comparable to what I get at the New Hampshire Seafood Festival every fall, so I'm okay with that.
I'm perfectly willing to basically have fried seafood anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Also in Texas. Yeah, I mean, although speaking of food, I read, I think it was yesterday, that like 90% of Georgia's peach crop this year went bust because they got hit with a triple whammy of a February heat wave and then 2 late spring frosts, and it destroyed 90% of their peaches.
Yeah, peaches are like super temperature sensitive, and like their fruiting process is like dependent on a particular series of temperature changes across the seasons, and mess with that and you're boned.
Like, what was the analogy the article used? It's like and because Georgia identifies so much with the peach, it's in everything. What did they say? Like, imagine if you were in a New Yorker and you were forced to import bagels from LA.
Yeah, very interesting history of how Georgia came to be known for peaches. Basically, it was a huge rebranding after the Civil War, as they were trying to distance themselves from the cotton industry and tobacco and everything else that had been really the backbone of slavery in the South. They had to find something new and somewhat unique to them to boost their image.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do I need to do anything on the hair here? Not really. Just a few little little spots here and there. Other than that, looks pretty good. What am I doing for time? Oh, I'm pretty good. I got another like half hour. I'm pretty good on the time. I really like this chalice.
That was a gift from my friend Simona. Yeah, that was from her. The mug was an extra that that the staff members had. They had ordered one for a prop for the bar, and then they're like, "We have an extra. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So,
free stuff. I'll take that.
Yeah. And then another player, the gold statue that was on my shoulder in one set of photos that we took was a gift from another player. And it was like, oh, like, I feel like this, I mean, I love all of my LARP characters, pretty much, but I feel like Dolly has had, like, the most impact in a game of any of the characters that I've played. Like, she's the only one I've played that I think her absence from the narrative would be felt. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. I mean, you've clearly invested a lot in this character to at least have done 2 shoots with me. You don't usually do that with characters.
Mm-hmm. And, like, her bar, the Gilded Wyvern, the staff put that on a t-shirt. You can get official gilded wyvern Oxentia swag. And it's like I had an impact on this game world, and it would not be the same had I not decided to play in it. And it's just like, makes you feel special.
Right, let's do... do one from our let's do one from the bar. Let's do this one. What was the other one I had in my queue? Yeah, I'll do that one too. But right now we'll... You study the booze.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring that in so that I'm not getting the tips of your fingers on the right. That just looks weird.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, declare to...
So this is a bottle of Saint Germain, which is an elderflower liqueur, which is absolutely delicious. But if I found that a white sparkling wine or white wine with a splash of club soda, Saint Germain, and Chambord, which is a black cherry liqueur with like warm spices, or black raspberry, one of those two. It's really good. Like that is a really good drink. And yeah. Also Saint Germain is just good on its own.
Yeah, I don't really dabble too much with liquor. But I would definitely be open to trying some of the more unique ones. Like, I can't... Like, whiskey and just... I was never the type of person to be able to just drink straight, liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, why does this feel like the back of my throat's peeling off? Let's
Well, with liqueurs, they're much sweeter. Like they have a very high sugar content, so you can actually just take them, and you could use them like a syrup to make like a homemade soda, just like with some seltzer, or use them to flavor tea or coffee or something. Because you can get a lot of really nice, like you can get violet liqueur, you can get elderflower liqueur. There's a bunch of different flavor profiles that you can put in there that don't necessarily necessitate making a really alcoholic drink. And they have a much lower ABV than liquors do as well. Maybe not much lower, but lower than, vodka or whiskey or anything like that.
Because it's like, I love a good mead.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, mead and hard cider, I mean, that's known as a bee sting. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if otherwise I would have to drink, if I was going to have liquor of any kind, it'd be in a cocktail. Like, I just... Nope, don't want the paint thinner feeling.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in college, I was at New Paltz, and I was in a suite, and I shared it with a group of international students. They were of Hispanic origin. And I, they were pre-gaming. They were getting pre-drunk before they went to the frat party that weekend. So they come bursting into my room with a bottle of tequila. And, the music is blaring. It's a freaking party atmosphere in the suite. And, me, straight edge, straight laced, innocent 17, 18-year-old me who has never had anything remotely alcoholic in his life. I was like, you want to try something? Like, all right, fine. Sure. Why not? They give me a shot of this stuff. I nearly puke it back up because it just tastes so vile. Like, what the hell did you just give me turpentine? That's tequila. Okay. Wipe that off the list. Although I have been told since that I probably had very shitty tequila. Okay. Not a whole lot to this one. Okay, McKenna's present. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I
No.
had to step away for a second.
No problem. Oh, that is no. We're in soft light. The screaming contrast probably not the best.
Mm.
Not here. Yeah, that'll do. It's a pretty basic one to edit. All right. I said I was going to do this one, so we will.
Yay!
Just a mild panic.
Mm-hmm.
With the business card or the black spot, one or the other.
Mm-hmm. Why not both?
Why not both? I'm thinking if we do wind up doing like quick little sessions pre your LARP, I'm definitely going to bring my red one because that seems thematically appropriate.
Yes.
Possibly this one. But somehow I think the red's going to work best.
Mm-hmm.
Although I have to make sure that I did get all of the fake blood out of it from the last time you used it. I did wash it, but I have to make sure that that stuff is sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, now you've got me thinking, oh, I wonder if I could get like a Hollywood star photo backdrop or something that that we could hang up. Find one that's not totally chintzy.
Yeah, if you find one, send it my way. Yes, so there's the little reminder from my stream bot. So I archive all of my streams on YouTube because I know not everyone can catch a stream live. What happens is that a stream stays on Twitch for 2 weeks and then it disappears. That's just Twitch's setting. I can't change that. I could change that if I was a Twitch partner, but I don't have that kind of time to stream my entire life to hit the threshold to become a Twitch partner. So usually about 2-3 days after a stream, I then upload that stream to my YouTube channel where people can watch them at their leisure, use them as background noise, whatever. So in case you do that and you're on YouTube, the link to my YouTube channel is just popped up in the chat, so you can give me a follow there and you get notified every time I post a video. Okay. Now selective color. Before I do selective color, add a little extra gradient. Now we'll do selective color. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to add more black to this image. We're getting there. We're getting pretty dramatic enough.
Mhm.
Contrast. And no, that's also fine. Maybe just a hair. Okay. Almost. Just a couple of highlight here. And thank you as well, McKenna, for spending some of your time with me tonight.
Oh, it is no trouble at all. Shane has a magic night with friends, so I legit have nothing else going on, and appreciate the opportunity to socialize.
Speaking of socializing, it was great to see Danielle here this weekend. She was with me for both Dave Matthews shows.
Yeah, it looked like you guys had a great time.
Oh, it was a blast. I mean, I always have a great time going to Dave Matthews anyway, but my love of Dave Matthews Band is entirely Danielle's fault. She introduced me to them when we were in middle school, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
And I figured it's a few days before her birthday. I'll get her, my birthday present to her will be, see a couple of concerts with me.
Mm-hmm.
But SPAC, I don't know if you've ever caught a concert at SPAC.
I've been to I saw Mumford and Sons there with Danielle. I saw Rod Stewart and Cyndi Lauper there with my mom. I saw the New York City Ballet when I was in middle school. So yeah, I've been there a few times.
Yeah, Dave Matthews, it's one of those, it's like, oh, it's you and 20,000 of your closest friends.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a little cramped. It's definitely not a place to go if you are a fan of personal space. But, I've been listening to them for so long, and I like the biggest thing for me is that it's a different set list every show. That's why I go. That's why I go both nights. There's no repeats.
Oh, that's nifty.
They do not repeat set lists. It's a different one every single time, and the songs they play on that the first night when they won't play the second.
Mm-hmm.
The only other performer I've seen at SPAC is Lindsay Sterling.
I bet that was a good show.
It was nowhere near as crowded. I was actually able to afford seats inside the amphitheater instead of a lawn seat. So,
I mean, I don't mind lawn seats.
Neither do I.
Your own. So.
Yeah, I don't mind either. Right, so let's see how much time I've got. I've got time for one more. Do you have a preference or a particular one?
Oh God, let me open up the folder. Da, da, da. Scroll through these quick. Any of the ones 12 through 21.
12 through 21. Okay.
Or 23 is also a good one, but I don't know if you did any of those already.
I have done... The only one of that particular sequence I've done is 28.
Okay, let's do, actually, because I like the angle that it's at, let's do 23.
23. All right, let's pull it up. So I'm hoping that one matches the one because I'm looking at my Adobe Bridge folder.
Yes, that one.
That one. All right. So we will end. I
like the way my jawline looks in this one.
Just like, yes. It's like a mild smirk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We will conclude with this one. So, it's first fit the screen. Kill. Like, it's a mild smirk, and from the way that you're holding your fan, it's like you're trying to put on slight airs. Like, yes. There's a little sort of snobbery there, almost.
Mm-hmm. Little bit.
Well, I am very glad you're going to get even more mileage out of this character.
Yes. No, what I'm imagining in this particular image is that she's like people watching and like taking notes of various things that people are doing to embarrass themselves at whatever gathering she's at.
And suddenly I just have the song, what is it, from the Jekyll and Hyde musical called Bitch, Bitch, Bitch. You're the lady here fighting over there, darling, do beware, she's a bitch. Especially with the way you've got the fan positioned and your chalice.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I know exactly who she's looking at in this picture, and it is another one of the characters in her player group, Celio, who they have the most petty rivalry. Like it is so dumb. And at this point, like the only reason they really keep it up is because they've been snarking and sniping at each other for so long that I doubt they know any other way to interact. But
They've just
so
they're so committed to the bit.
yeah, so Celia's probably like trying to flirt with someone, and Dolly's just sitting there like, huh, I'm just gonna watch and see how this implodes on itself.
Once again, see if we can bring out some of the hair highlights. As we start winding down here, just want to let people know that tomorrow I will be doing another stream, but it will not be photography, it will be video games, as I will be starting my 25th anniversary playthrough of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Fun.
I hooked up my N64 to my computer to see if it would register, and it does. So yeah, I'll be playing this on its original console.
Nice. My new graphics card is arriving tomorrow, hopefully, and I'm super stoked.
I saw that you were you're upgrading.
Yes, finally.
What games do you plan on subjecting it to?
So the main reason is so that I can play Baldur's Gate 3, because I bought it in early access, and the graphics card I have, like, the game doesn't crash, but it chugs like like a slug trying to move over like ice. It's just it's not unplayable, but it is very, very slow.
Okay, yeah.
So I need something that I know will be able to let me play the games at the speed they are meant to be played. I don't care if it's on the highest graphics setting. I just need them to run at the speed they are supposed to. It comes out on August 3rd, so I have to make sure that I am ready for that to happen, because it looks like it's just going to be such a fun time.
Like, I remember, like, there's one of my all-time favorite games is Ori and the Blind Forest.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it on my old PC, and similar issue, it chugged. It played, but I was waiting for my computer to just start spitting smoke, and, I was, like, waiting for my computer to just make the exaggerated Looney Tunes noise,
Mm-hmm.
and just. But I played the game. I beat the game, and then not too long after, I upgrade my PC entirely. I build a new one. I save up enough money. I buy all the parts. I build a new one, and then not too long after that, Ori, the definitive version, comes out, which has additional content. There's an additional dungeon. Oh, there's that purple thing with the key that you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
It comes out, I install it, and the game runs so much smoother and faster. And I'm just like, I had to relearn all the muscle memory. Because it's a platformer slash Metroidvania game that requires a lot of...
You gotta time it right, so if your sprite's moving faster than you're used to...
And it's just, whoa! I had to relearn all the muscle memory. I was like, oh, so this is how it was supposed to be played. Oops! So yeah, I get that, and I'm sure you're probably going to have maybe a little bit of that experience.
Well, we'll see. I haven't actually... The last game that I played was, on my PC, was Dragon Age Inquisition, which runs just fine, on it. So... Yeah. And I haven't actually touched the early access for Baldur's Gate 3 since... a couple of years now, because I was still on maternity leave when I was trying to play it. But it looks like it's going to be so much fun.
And there we are.
Very nice.
What were you about to say?
Oh, I was going to say, I'm going to spend forever in the character creator. I have no idea what or who I want to play yet. And I imagine it is going to be a challenge settling on something, because there are too many options.
All right. Now we have right just about hit the 2-hour mark. So time to do what I usually do at the end of a stream, and that's I usually do a recap of what we did. So let me drag my Adobe Bridge folder back into view here. So starting what we did, so we're good. So this is actually in order from start to what we just wrapped up with. So we're starting with passed out you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the black and white next to that. And then the sepia next to that. That one I actually thought the sepia kind of worked, so I just kept that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the two that I used in the social media promo that I shared earlier today. The Monday Mood.
Mm-hmm.
Another winding down. And God, that backdrop works so well with that outfit.
Yeah, you made a good choice.
I was impressed. I'm like, whoa. Sometimes I pretend I know what I'm doing. Then drama.
So much drama.
Followed by even more drama.
All the drama.
And then after the drama, a drink.
Because Lord knows you'll need it.
I just noticed I'll have to fix that. There's a tiny bit of your fan poking out of there. I'm gonna have to just crop that off just a hair. So I'll fix that shortly. The barkeep choosing the poison. Then more drama.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally that one. So that's what we did tonight. So I will be
Yay!
uploading these. I'll give you the edited low res to you shortly.
Okay.
And you'll have those. And yeah, so thank you again for spending some time with me, and as well as all of you out there spending some of your Monday night with me. Very, very much appreciate your company. And I'll just plug my link page there. But yeah, thank you so much, McKenna.
Thank you, and I hope y'all have a great night and a great rest of your week.
Yes, hopefully I will see some of you guys tomorrow as I begin The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. But if not, that's fine. That's fine. It'll go up. Stream will eventually go up on YouTube, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. So until I see you all again, stay healthy, stay safe, all that wonderful stuff. Good night, and joy be with you all. Be well.